All right, still 7.2. Last video we talked about classifying the difference between decay and growth exponential functions and graphing them. Right? Now what we're going to do is we want to translate graphs, same thing as we did in the exponential growth videos. Right? But we're talking about decay. Right? Just a little review. Remember, H makes it go left or right, but it's opposite of what H is. So in other words, if I had x plus 5, that means I'm going left 5. If it's x minus 5, that means I'm going right 5. Okay, so you got to think opposite when you're dealing with the x value. And K, it just goes up or down. So if it's positive 3, I'm going up 3. If it's negative 3, I'm going down 3. So there's no opposites here, is exactly what it states. And then I will show you how it affects the horizontal asymptote. Alright, so first thing is this growth or decay? Well, you look at B. Well, first of all, A is 1, because there's nothing in front. B is 1/4, that's less than 0, so that means I have, decay. In other words, my graph is going to look something like this. Okay. So first thing I do, A is equal to 1, so that's my y-intercept. Make a little t-table, put 1, negative 1, so I got 1/4 so this is that 1/4, excuse me, this is that 1. Alright, so, well, we don't need to do the table anymore, I'm sorry, alright, so what we're going to do is, this is where our y-intercept is supposed to be at 1, alright, but what we're going to do now, this tells me right here, minus 1, that means I'm going right 1. And this right here, plus 1, means I'm going up 1. So what that means, I'm going to go from this point, this is where it originally was, but now we're going to go up 1 and to the right 1. So this new point, so what this used to be is right here now. Is decay. Alright. Now, a horizontal asymptote used to be the x-axis. But since I went up 1, that means my horizontal asymptote is now at y is equal to 1. So in other words, this line right here is my horizontal asymptote. That's the reason why I draw a dashed or dotted line going across. Right? So this is where, when I sketch my curve, which is decay, I don't touch that line or cross it because that's my new horizontal asymptote. So we have to remember, whatever your K is also, so K is also your new horizontal asymptote. Alright, so let's see here, this graph, well, first of all, A is 5, so there's my y-intercept, so let's sketch that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B is 2/3, so that means I have decay, so it's going to look like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this point here and I'm going to move it. Right? I'm going to move it down 2, so it'll be 1, 2, so it's here. And then this says positive 1, so that means I'm going to go left 1. So I'm going to go left 1. So now here's the new point. So it's no longer this, now it's here. Now, again, I told you K is your horizontal asymptote. So K is at -2. So 1, 2. Draw a dotted or dashed line through that. Now I can sketch my curve. So it starts up here, goes through the y-intercept and curve it, but do not touch the dotted line because that's my horizontal asymptote. You can't touch it or cross it. And that's all you do. All right. See, A is negative, oops, excuse me, don't worry about the negative. A is 3, so that's where, or -3, excuse me, that's my y-intercept. All right, so let's sketch that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's moving right 5 and up 4. So this new point here is going right 5, up 4. But if you also notice that it's negative, right? Well, first of all, B is 3/4, so that means it's decay. So B is 3/4, is decay. Now what happens is, since A is negative, for decay, let me bring this down. Decay, our graph will look like this. But since it's negative, it's reflection. So in other words, it's now going to be looking like this. All right, so our graph is going to look like that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply these transformations. So I'm going to go right 5. Doesn't matter which one you do first. I'm going to go right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's here. And at this point, I'm going to go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's the new point, right there. Now, as I said before, K is your new horizontal asymptote. So at +4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw curve. Now sketch this curve. Right? So sketch the curve, but do not touch. Make sure you go through the point. I sort of missed it. All right. And there you go.